What's going on, guys? My name is Eldeniro and welcome to episode 105 of my FIFA 15 career mode with Manchester United. We're starting this episode off with one of the most important games of the season early on against Lyon, and this is away from home. They beat us at Old Trafford thanks to a Lacazette goal to nil after De Gea's awful clearance, which was my mistake completely. This is the Lyon team. They play with a very rigid 4-1-2-1-2 and they love to maintain possession, and I find that incredibly difficult to play against for some reason. I remember when they came to Old Trafford, it was one of the most difficult games, so I wasn't expecting an easy one here, but I went with a kind of a rigid formation myself, with Lingard and Di Maria on the wings, with Wayne Rooney playing behind talisman Hector Villalba, who has been scoring a lot of goals lately, so we were hoping to keep that form going. But we started the episode off, or the game off rather, with Di Santo having a shot off the crossbar in the 33rd minute. I swear to God, it was a really cagey game, so the fact that the first highlight came beyond the half-hour mark in the first half shouldn't really be too much of a surprise. But we went on the counter-attack from that, and the ball comes to Jesse Lingard on the left hand side, and he goes to cut inside because his crossing is not very good, so I decided to just dribble in past every single defender along the way, and Lingard tragically puts the ball wide with one of the most ridiculously bad efforts on goal I have ever seen, and you get to see a replay of it as well just to celebrate how bad it truly was. But one thing I did want to ask you guys for the career mode players out there, because this is something I've been thinking about for a long time, right? One of my favourite things about career mode is the progression and going from club to club. That's a whole lot of fun. Like, I really enjoyed my FIFA 13 career mode when I went from Wigan to Marseille to Spurs. Like, I like jumping around from club to club. But one thing I've always wanted in career mode, like my ultimate dream with career mode, which has never actually happened for me, is I would love to manage either Real Madrid or Barcelona, having been offered the job, not having to had applied for it. So have any of you guys ever been offered a job at one of the giants like that, like any big team like that? Do let me know in the comment section. As you see, Lacazette once again gave Lyon the lead in the 50th minute, which obviously made our task more difficult and just a kind of a monstrous task ahead of us at this point. But thankfully Gonalons brought down Dybala in the box just on the hour mark to give us a lifeline in the game and the opportunity to get an equaliser and hopefully push on for the winner. With obviously in the first game against Lyon, Wayne Rooney missed a penalty, so this was a great chance for him to step up and redeem himself for that. But as you can see, the captain definitely felled Dybala. It was a definite penalty and a definite real lifeline for us in the game. Wayne Rooney steps up from the spot and once again sees his penalty saved by Lopez. He went the exact same place as the last time round, and I think for the 5th time or the 4th time in the series overall, we see one of our penalties saved, which is a real shame. We come up to the final 10 minutes of the game. Luke Shaw's effort from distance kind of typifying the type of movement that we had to go for. But we come up to the stoppage time at the end of the second half, pretty much looking at the final moments of the game right here with Javier Hernandez on the ball on the edge of the area. He plays it into Villalba, who goes for the volley, seeing his shot saved by the keeper and cleared by the defence. It went out for a throw-in, which was taken by Luke Shaw, who went with Signorini, who was offering support on that left-hand side. Signorini did really well to get around Mario Fernandes and the other defender here before getting brought down inside the box by the Brazilian right-back to give us one last chance at getting back into this game. And we have had a ridiculously disproportionate amount of penalties per game so far since we've joined Manchester United. It is absolutely insane. If it happened in real life, people would see it as blind proof that there is a definite conspiracy going on in favour of Manchester United. But this time Hector Villalba stepped up from the spot and took the responsibility of slamming the ball into the back of the net, which he does, going for the opposite side for the first time ever, and giving us that all-important equaliser. And we'll see how well that serves us in the game, because elsewhere in the group, Schalke actually beat Olympiacos by 4-0, which really does put us on the back foot in our quest to progress from the group and get into the knockout stage, which will obviously please the board. This group table, however, will not please the board. What I'm hoping for is that we beat Schalke, which will bring us level on points with them, and at the same time put us ahead of them with the head-to-head difference, I think, because we'll have drawn with them once and beaten them once. So I don't know if head-to-head is in the group stages in FIFA 15. I can never remember, but at this time we just have to hope for the best. And if Lyon were to beat Schalke and we were to win our 2 remaining games, then that would see us through, definitely, but it would be second in the group, meaning a very difficult stage in the knockout stages. Like, we could get teams who top the group, the likes of Real Madrid. Although, having said that, the only team that's ever put us out of the Champions League in this series so far has been Chelsea. So as long as we don't get matched up against Chelsea, I'm actually pretty confident for that tournament. It's just a matter of getting to the knockout stages, which is something that we've made an absolute balls of so far. So hopefully that's not what happens this time around. But on your screen is the squad report, a little bit faster than usual. Apologies for that, just in the interest of saving time. But there's not really anything to report about it. Wayne Rooney has just turned 34 and he's started to decline with his mental stats. So So like I said previously, I think 2 episodes ago, if someone were to come in with a heavy bid for Wayne Rooney, I'd have a hard time rejecting it. We go into our next game. This is away from home at the Liberty Stadium in Swansea City, taking on the Swans, and their team is pretty good. It's always been like a solid team. Obviously Kamara in there, who they signed from us, and Jack Cork, who they kind of hijacked our deal from when we were with Leicester. But other than that, Swansea have always been a relatively easy team for us to play against. I think the only notable victory they had against us when we were at Leicester City was in the FA Cup, which was an incredibly difficult game for some reason. But in the 5th minute, we launched into a counter-attack off the back of a Swansea attack with Di Maria on the ball, charging forward from midfield and seeing the space open up for Hector Villalba to run into, which he does incredibly well, and he finishes easily and powerfully into the back of the net to make it 1-0 to us against his former club, the club who we signed him for when we were at Leicester. We come up to the 20th minute of the game with Jack Cork and Livaya combining well on the edge of the box as Jack Cork plays the ball into Jefferson Montero, who goes for the strike and actually sees it hit off the post following a save from De Gea, which meant it went out for a corner kick from which nothing came. But we did launch into a counter attack from that corner with Luke Shaw on the ball, taking on Obeng at right back for Swansea City, and then moving into some space in an advanced position before looking up, seeing the run from Di Maria and playing it back to Chalobah, having gotten dispossessed. But the ball comes to Di Maria anyways, who takes it round Amat really well and finesses it into the corner of the net to make it 2-0 to us. And at this early stage, it just looked as though there was no way any outcome from this game would have been possible apart from a victory for Manchester United. That's just the kind of game that it was. But we come to the 35th minute, we got a free kick, and Chalobah plays it into Dybala, who picked up a good position there on that right hand side, or the left hand side rather, but his shot was woeful, and that's a shame because I was really hoping it would kind of bend into the far corner like one of those Roberto Carlos shots. But it didn't happen. He's a player I'll never use his right foot because every single left-footed player in FIFA pretty much has got a 2-star weak foot. Not everyone, but an awful lot. But Villalba comes forward in the 42nd minute and creates a chance for himself, almost managing to score and get his second of the game, which would have been a nice kind of a reward for him for his hard work there. But in the 50th minute, we come forward again with Dybala doing a completely unnecessary Ronaldo chop and playing the ball into Jordan, who finds Wayne Rooney, who goes for the fake shot to get round Obeng and then pulls it back inside and drags his shot just wide of the post. Sadly enough, that would have been a nice third goal for the game. But 2 minutes later, we came forward again with Luke Shaw, this time concentrating our attacks down the left hand side with Wayne Rooney picking the ball up in that left attacking midfield position. He plays it into Dybala, who sees his shot saved really well with a reflex save from the Swansea City goalkeeper. And then we come up to just beyond the hour mark of the game with Signorini playing the ball into Dybala, who's just powering forward with a surging run, taking on Amat at right back and getting dragged back inside the box, which was aggressive contact enough to warrant a penalty from the referee. Amat can't believe it, but like, he definitely dragged him to the ground. Villalba steps up from the spot as Wayne Rooney has now been relieved of penalty duties, having missed 2 in the Champions League, and Villalba makes it 3-0 to us against his former club, which is pretty cool. Swansea came forward for their only attack of the entire second half, with Sigurdsson's shot being palmed away by David De Gea for a corner kick, from which nothing came. But we came forward inside stoppage time at the end of the game with Jordan's ball going straight over Amat into the path of Villalba, who does really well inside the box with the fake shot, but sadly sees his final effort saved in his attempt to get his first hat-trick in a Man United jersey, which wasn't to be. And we end that game with a 3-0 victory, another clean sheet in the league for us, which I just am loving so much. That's why I mention it all the time. And our next game is at Old Trafford against West Bromwich Albion as they visit. Their team is actually really solid. I think they've always been a difficult team for me to play against. I remember one season with Leicester City, I think we were beaten 3 times in one season, and 2 of those defeats were because of Chelsea and the other was West Brom. So they are a team that I have previously struggled to play against, but they do have a kind of an aging front line at this point with Anichebe and Sebastian Blanco. Not a whole lot going on there. But we come up to the 13th minute of the game with Signorini doing really well before seeing his shot saved. He's actually going to be a really good player. I think he's very good at dribbling. He's got 4-star skills, and he's kind of like a left winger playing with a right foot is just really helpful as well. But in the 28th minute, it was Di Maria coming forward, taking on Jakob before playing the ball into Ander Herrera, who scores from the near post. And bizarrely, I don't think I've ever scored a goal like that before in FIFA 15. I've conceded several of them and then been furious at the goalkeeper for conceding such a stupid goal. But I don't really take chances like that often. It was just kind of a very cagey dull game, in all honesty, so I just decided to go for it from there. Villalba had a chance in the 52nd minute, which was cleared, and then we come all the way up to the final 15 minutes of the game with Luke Shaw on the left hand side taking a throw in, waiting for some kind of an option to be presented to him. It was Nick Powell who gets very lucky with that chance after the failed interception from the West Brom player, but Powell's shot goes just wide of the post, and there was nothing else that really happened in that game. Just the 4 highlights from it, symbolising how dull of a game it was and how kind of lucky we were to win it as well because of Herrera's goal, which was kind of like, to me, that's like a freak thing where I would never really try that ever again. But there you go, like, that's what happens. That's pretty good. Another clean sheet in the league as well, which doesn't hurt, you know. But that's the end of this episode. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please do leave a like. That would be much appreciated. I've been Elden Hero. Thanks for watching.